Yes, see, this is part 4 of the Precision Woodworking saga, where the workers were made redundant and they're looking for answers to many questions that the owners of Precision Woodworking cannot give them because we understand they've been gagged. Since the posting of our last video, part 3, there has been a revelation that heightens our fear and increases our alarm at the lawless course our country seems to continue to be traveling along. Our reference is to a press release dated October 6, 2015, issued by Mr. H.N. Sugrim of Gaitrack and published in the Kashir News and Tablet News on Wednesday, 7th October. This extract that was in that paper by Mr. Sugrim. The above release states that Mr. Kashir Khan, receiver of Republic Bank, has sold Precision Woodworking Limited to the Bihari group of companies. That release so stated. This is shocking for many reasons. 1. In public notices in Tablet News and Kashir News in November 2014, Ronald and Rustam Bulkan state that the appointment of a receiver by Republic Bank Limited for Precision Woodworking Limited has been challenged as being unlawful. 2. That an injunction was granted by the Supreme Court on the 28th of February 2013, restraining the very Kashir Khan from selling, conveying, parting with possession of any of Precision Woodworking Limited's property, plant, machinery, equipment, stock, etc. That is Action 148C/D 2013. 3. That the properties being advertised for sale by Kashir Khan, namely lots 21 and 32 Rheinveld Industrial Estate, were previously sold by the Bulkans to Tergonal Paints Inc. for $230 million. A sale which was apparently inexplicably scuttled by Republic Bank and Kashir Khan. So in spite of the above, that the receiver is unlawful, that a court injunction was granted restraining him from disposing of any of Precision's assets, and that these properties were already sold by the Bulkans, we now learn of this total disregard for ethical conduct or of the law. May we remind the public that the lawyer for Kashir Khan is Senior Counsel Robin Stobie. That this very gentleman Stobie is the chairman of GBTI, Guyana Bank for Trade and Industry, a bank mainly owned by the Biharis who we are now being told is the owner of Precision Woodworking Limited. Our fear, one expressed earlier, is that there seemed to be some kind of insider trading or collusion between Republic Bank and GBTI in this web of dealings by the named persons. Who stands to benefit from this situation? Certainly not the shareholders of Republic Bank, whose image is now severely questioned, having been accused of mafia-style conduct in an open letter published in the Kashir News in May 2014, and to which this bank has not sought to defend itself against. The institution that is responsible for protecting the public interest and for regulating the commercial banks is the Bank of Guyana. We have repeatedly called on this institution to address our fears and allegations of misconduct and fraud perpetrated by Republic Bank. But so far to no avail. We repeat our call to the Bank of Guyana to come clean with the facts. Now, in the letter of October 7th, that statement press release by Guy Track owner H.N. Sugrim. What Mr. Sugrim has done there, he has exonerated himself in the fact that he has publicly, he's not sought to speak with the workers in any kind of clandestine manner. He has publicly stated that he has no dealings with the Precision Woodworking saga. He'd like to make that clear. He's also identified a fact, and it seemed to be public knowledge, that Mr. Kashir Khan, I'm reading from what he has here, who is the receiver of Republic Bank, sold the business to BRE Group of companies. Therefore, Mr. Sugrim states, the aggrieved workers, former workers of Precision Woodworking Limited, should go to Mr. Kashir Khan for a financial settlement and not the previous owner, being Precision Woodworking Limited, owners of Precision Woodworking Limited. Mr. H.N. Sugrim, I must say, is an honorable gentleman. He's made it clear here, and he's not afraid to come public, which means he has nothing to hide. On behalf of the workers, former workers of Precision Woodworking Limited, I would like to say thank you to Mr. Sugrim. You've done an excellent job. You are indeed an honorable gentleman. Now, as it relates to Bihari, Stobi, and GBTI, you know, these companies need to say what is going on, because if Bihari has bought it, or is purported to have bought this place, Stobi is the lawyer for Kashir Khan, who represents the bank, Republic Bank, and Stobi was on the directors of GBTI. Does not bode well for banking. It does not bode well for the confidence that the shareholders should have in these institutions with these honorable gentlemen at the top, at the helm. Now, what I would have observed also, that the Bar Association is telling the Legal Affairs Minister to stay out of judicial appointments. They're concerned that he's getting involved in judicial appointments. But then again, the Bar Association, who castigates the Legal Affairs Minister, and Mr. Ram, who is also part of the Bar Association, does not find it just as important or in their integrity to say that the commercial courts have not been functioning. It is there, and they should also make their voices heard, asking that the commercial court do what they've been placed there to do, the members of that court. And it was clearly alluded to that this court, this commercial court, seemed to be doing nothing in an article last month that was placed in the media by Mr. Godet, lawyer Godet. And he was very concerned, and what he said in his missive last month makes a lot of sense. So we would like to call on Mr. Ram, the Bar Association, just as they would have been very vocal in other things. You know, these honorable gentlemen should ask or seek to have this commercial court do what they've been placed there to do, and that is to expedite commercial-related matters, things that they have not done. And if matters from 2012, 2013 that is before the commercial court that has to do with the Precision Woodworking Limited, that would have caused it to affect what would have developed in the relation between Precision Woodworking and its former workers. We are asking them to make a voice heard and seek to have these cases that have so long been placed before the commercial courts be brought to trial in that August body.
Whose responsibility is it to protect the shareholders of the Republic Bank? It is the bank's external auditor, Mr. Christopher Ram. Mr. Ram is the watchdog for the bank's interests. He's there to protect the shareholders' interests, not to cover up wrongdoings by the bank. Mr. Ram, who is, however, a very vocal advocate, for integrity, accountability, transparency, good governance in general, is somehow eerily silent in this matter. Why is the obvious question. Clearly, you are dealing with double standards here. We now have an issue of the court action by the directors of Precision Woodworking against Republic Bank and their purported receiver, Mr. Kashir Khan, since May 2012. And the scandalous fact that the commercial court, which was established primarily to expedite speedily conclusions to court matters, has not given this case a public hearing to date. We are seeing a toxic cocktail of influence of power and money. Where does this leave us, the poor, hapless workers who really has no voice?
We are issuing a public plea to a few institutions who we believe are committed to eradicating corruption in the society. These include GHRA, Ghana Bar Association, and Transparency Institute Ghana Inc. We are not aware of Mr. Ram's link and position on the last two named institution, but we trust that they would not willingly tarnish their reputation and credibility by condoning wrongdoing or covering up same. Now, there is a article in the Starbuck News Friday, October the 9th, 2015, where the Bar Association criticizes His Excellency on the secrecy of pardoning the situation of the criminals and stuff like that. We are hoping the Bar Association is looking also at the commercial court and our matter. We need to get this matter come to a quick solution and hope that we can get ahead with our situation. Knowing that we were a great company that were also producing value-added products. Not like these other foreign companies that is coming in and producing, and is not producing value-added products that are shipping out logs or products that is not value-added, that is not of great, should I say, great benefit to our country. We are looking at such situation. We are also calling on the following government agency to address the serious charges made against all the named institutions, individuals, and companies. These includes Ministry of Labor, Ministry of Finance, Attorney General, Minister of Legal Affairs, and the Chancellor of the Judiciary. The state has an obligation to protect the interest and disadvantage. We continue to call on all the above to look into this matter. We are workers and we need redress. We need our situation to be taken care of. Thank you.
Oh, well, my colleagues would have made mention that, the Ministry of Labor, the government, the related, all the stakeholders that would be a part of being able to assist these workers, these highly skilled workers, who it's not just about being paid the rest of their severance costs. Precision Woodworking would have paid a part of it, but there was this understanding that there is to be some kind of closure with the case between the Republic Bank Limited and the Precision Woodworking establishment that would have caused them probably to have their operation restarted, which would have these specialist workers re-employed. And I suppose that a payment to Republic Bank would have been made because if something is working, if there's work going on there, obviously they'll be finding money to pay what they owe the bank, and then you will be having 200 and something very skilled workers, 200 odd very skilled workers back on the job to take care of their family, and things could have been worked out between the company and their workers, who obviously were very happy working there, but the circumstances that developed was beyond their control. And I'm concerned about what transpired as relates to these workers, the Precision Woodworking Limited, and beyond.